Fight him. Fight. Fight. Owens, fight. Fight. Owens, fight. Fight. Owens, fight. Hello, folks. Shintigercurl here. That dude in the straw hat. Bringing you another awesome video. It's Monday night. You know what that means? Time for Raw. And it's the after effects of last night's Payback pay-per-view. So, what's going to happen? A lot of things happen that have me questioning whether or not my sanity is intact and my dick can't get any harder. So anyway, Triple H and Stephanie come out, the Authority, Steph looking ravishing as usual, and they talk about Daniel Bryan. I missed the first part because I was kind of asleep, but anyway, they talk about how Daniel Bryan was a quitter and all the other stuff that we've come to know, but the one thing they talk about is the now vacant Intercontinental title. So, how we're going to decide who gets the belt? Why, in the Elimination Chamber, of course. So, so 6 men will be locked inside that devilish structure. The winner, or survivor, gets the IC belt as the champion. Now, for the first time, because of this, the Intercontinental title actually feels important. That's what Daniel Bryan wanted. He wanted the Intercontinental title to feel important. And it does with this. This is the first time the Intercontinental title will be decided in an Elimination Chamber match. So there's that. Sheamus comes out, taking all the credit in the world for putting Daniel Bryan out of action or ending his career. Ryback comes out and proclaims that he just wanted to be fed more. So Tripp says the two of them will be entered into the Elimination Chamber, but until then, they can have a match. We segue into our first match of the evening, Sheamus versus Ryback. Nah, this was an okay match. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. I mean, Ryback is still limited in what he can do in the ring, and Sheamus, well, being the machine that he is, can't really do much. So, I mean, he can do a lot. It's just that he can't really do much with Ryback. A lot of people can't do much with Ryback given his limited moveset. Anyway, Sheamus feigns an eye injury, which gives him an opening to give a bro kick to Ryback, giving him the win. Again, if I'm reading these out of order, my bad. Next up, I believe, Rusev comes out to address what happened last night at Payback, where he didn't actually say I quit, but Lana said he said I quit in Bulgarian. He said that Lana is gone. He will not be dealing with Lana anymore. No more Lana. I'm like, that you've lost me. Lana comes out and says that she did it because she cared about Rusev. Rusev says that her feelings make her weak and throws her out of the ring. Throws her to the wayside. So yeah, there's that. And we find out as the show goes on who else is entered into the Intercontinental title Elimination Chamber match. We already know it's Sheamus, Rusev, for some reason R-Truth, King Barrett. Let's see, who else was in it? I believe it's Neville. I could be wrong. No, it wasn't Neville. But the last one is Dolph Ziggler. I mean, it's not really the most star-studded or impressive lineup, but it's going to be a good match. For a lot of these men, it's going to be their first time in an Elimination Chamber match. So we'll see what they can do in that match. Next up, for the tag team titles, we're having a tag team title rematch. The Masters of the Universe, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, take on the champs, The New Day, with the stipulation that Xavier Woods be barred from ringside because of what happened last night. Once again, the Masters and the New Day, I'm calling them the Douche Day because they're so douchebaggy. They have a nice little back and forth matchup, and the New Day get disqualified for over-aggression. Then, as Cesaro and Tyson Kidd are fighting back, out comes Xavier Woods. Then, as they're fighting against them, the Lucha Dragons come out and take out the New Day and then focus on the Masters. Then the Los Matadores come out and start beating everybody's asses. Then the Ascension come out and start beating everyone's asses. And then finally, after months and months of just missing them on air, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, the primetime players, make their triumphant return and make a statement. And it should be noted that all of these teams that you saw will be in the first ever Tag Team Championship Elimination Chamber match. It's going to be a clusterfuck, to be sure, but it's going to be an entertaining clusterfuck. But anyway, backstage they're preparing for a celebration for Seth Rollins' Night of Appreciation. He becomes the Architect of Dreams. And then Dean Ambrose comes out and he says that since he beat Seth Rollins one-on-one a couple of weeks back, that he would deign to give Seth another shot at him, but only for the WWE title on the line. Then then the Admiral says that to have the Director of Operations Kane deal with this shit. So he says that tonight, well, after Dean pretty much ripped into him about Paul Bearer and The Undertaker, tonight he will face Bray Wyatt. So we segue into our next match. Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. Now, I love these two in the ring. They have excellent chemistry together. These just two crazy motherfuckers who don't give a shit about what you do to them or what they do to themselves and will beat the piss out of each other just to prove who's crazier. They showed that tonight. This was a fantastic, fantastic matchup. They gave us what we wanted. It was brutal, it was ugly, and I loved every minute of it. The end came when J&J Security interfered in the match, and Dean ate his sister Abigail, giving Bray Wyatt the win, and Seth has that shitty grin on his face. Let's see. I'm trying to go in order here. Next up, Neville comes out, and to talk about his recent matches that he's had with King Barrett. Then Bo Dallas comes out. In a rare instance of continuity, this brings up a good point, because as they said before, Neville is the longest reigning NXT champion in NXT history. But the person he beat for that title just last year was Bo Dallas in an epic ladder match. Bo Dallas, who at the time had the longest reign as NXT champion. So it was a nice little bit of continuity. But this segues into Neville's rematch with King Barrett. Now, as my friend Griffoon, a big supporter and fan of the show, pointed out, he likes this little bit of this positive edge that the guy has, but also holding back his psychotic nature. It's interesting, and I'm glad they're going this route with him. But anyway, because his leg was jacked up, Neville loses to Wade Barrett, and it was the perfect time for Bo Dallas to attack him. So there's that. That was awesome. That was pretty interesting, and hopefully this will get Bo Dallas out of this booking quagmire that he's been in. And now, because I'm just going to do it outright. Well, before that, Dolph Ziggler had a short match with Stardust. Truly forgettable. Not that it was terrible or nothing, it just wasn't up to par with what we see on the show. So anyway, he talks about how he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber, and how he not only wants to beat the shit out of Sheamus, but he wants to get the Intercontinental title back. Then Lana comes out, and she kisses Dolph Ziggler. Rusev comes out, furious, starts beating up on Ziggler, and confronts Lana and starts screaming in that Lana slaps him, and Ziggler hits the zigzag on him, or I think it was a super kick, but nonetheless, looks like there's going to be some more added tension to the Elimination Chamber match. And now, what you've all been waiting for, the biggest moment of the night. If I had known that John Cena's open U.S. challenge would come to this, I would not have said that him getting the U.S. title was a bad thing. Because this was a good thing. This was the best thing to happen. John Cena comes out. This is his usual America, blah, 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 jingoism, USA, apple pie, U.S. soldiers, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all that other stuff. And he calls out, says, "You want some? Come get some." And who wants some? None other than the current NXT champion, the reigning, undefeated NXT champion, Kevin Owens. I was marking out so hard, my mother actually asked me what the hell was wrong with me because I was screaming so loud. And I told her I was just watching wrestling, and I just didn't want to deal with it right now. Like, I'm watching wrestling, leave me alone. He's like, "Are you okay in there? You screaming so loud." I'm marking out. What's marking out? Never mind. But if this is your first time seeing Kevin Owens is a monster. He is a cold, ruthless, calculating, efficient bastard. He is the scariest man in the entire company, next to Brock Lesnar. Yes, I said it. He is on the equal terms in terms of viciousness and cold-blooded nature of the one-man crime spree. And he didn't win the WWE title by pinning or submitting Sami Zayn. He just beat the shit out of him until the title came to him. That's it. He just fucked him up so bad that the ref stopped the match. And he's been unstoppable since then. So he comes to the ring, introduces himself, and says that the only reason he beat Sami Zayn was because he's injured because he fucked him up the last time they had him. And Cena was getting incensed. And then he started calling Kevin Owens a rookie. And Kevin Owens just like, "Hold on a minute, motherfucker. I've been doing this since for the last 15 years. I'm new here. I'm a newbie here. But I've been doing this longer than you have. So don't call me a fucking rookie." He was getting off. He was going Kevin Steen on his ass. And he just says, "You know what? I could wrestle you for the Intercontinental title, for the U.S. title, but I don't want to. I could take it from you if I wanted, but I don't want to. If I'm going to wrestle, I'm going to wrestle on my terms." And Cena just told him to get out the ring, and he told him, "You ain't got no fire in your eyes." Then Kevin Steen's like, "Well, if you think you got me figured out," attacks him, then hits him with a pop-up powerbomb and destroys John Cena. You're right, John. Kevin Owens doesn't have fire in his eyes. He's cold. He's cold-blooded. He doesn't give a fuck who he has to kill to get what he wants. And then he steps on the U.S. title, which is awesome. Oh, God, I'm marking so hard. I'm still marking out. But to cool us off from that, we have a squash match between the Beard Bros, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, against the Job Squad of Fandango and Zack Ryder. Moving on. Next up, the Divas in the surprising main event. The Divas title's on the line as Nikki defends her belt against Naomi. And Brie wasn't out there because, according to Steph, she needs counseling because of Daniel Bryan's semi-retirement. This was a decent match, but I'm going to say this again. Naomi, I love you. I love what you're doing. You're an excellent diva, and I like what you're doing with this whole, we're not going to ask, we're going to take it, but for the love of God. No, better yet, for the love of Jim Duggan. For the love of Macho Man Randy Savage. For the love of the Ultimate Warrior, please, please, don't do the rear view again. Don't do it again. Look into my eyes. Don't do it again. But yeah, Tamina interrupts, the match is foobarred, and then the pale rider, Paige, makes her triumphant return, clears house, and then fucks up Nikki Bella just to let her know that I'm still coming for that belt. We missed you, Paige. Backstage, we see Kevin Owens shaking hands with Triple H. Everyone knows that Triple H has been high on Kevin Owens since day one. And a lot of the guys on the CBR forums, you know who you are, were speculating that this was just a message being sent from Triple H to Vince McMahon and another Kevin, who will remain nameless. Kevin Dunn. Sorry. So, Steen announces that in 2 weeks, at Elimination Chamber, he's going to face John Cena after he kills Sami Zayn again. You may not see it, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't want to show it to you, but I have the biggest boner right now. It's been a while since I've had a boner this big, but yeah, in 2 weeks, the champ is going to find out that there is more than one monster outside of Brock Lesnar in the WWE. It's not going to be fight Owens, fight. It's going to be kill Owens, kill. So he meets the main part of the entire show, the celebratory party for Seth Rollins, the Architect of Dreams, as they're calling him. And they're celebrating, they have big video packages, and then Titty Master comes out. And he says, "Give me my title shot, or else." So Steph's like, "Do you know who you're talking about? Seth, get him!" And Steph's like, "Me right now?" Okay. So they have a fight. Dean does amazingly as he handles Kane, Steph, and J&J security all by himself. The fight spills out outside, and he unveils a platform of cinder blocks. Continuity, ding. Yeah. And he prepares to give him a nice single-man concerto on top of it, and Steph relents. So in 2 weeks, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, one-on-one for the title. But the numbers game gets too much for him, and he gets taken out by Seth Rollins. Nothing ends our show. And that's my video. My thoughts? In terms of wrestling, it's not as good as it usually is, but in terms of story and build-up, fucking A. We got the IC, the Intercontinental Elimination Chamber match. It's going to be awesome. We have the first ever tag team title tag team title Elimination Chamber match, which shows you just how stacked the WWE tag team roster is now, which is awesome. We got Titty Master going up against Seth Rollins for the title. Awesome. And of course, the on-screen debut, Kevin Owens. You're gonna get fucked up, Cena. You're gonna get fucked up. But anyway, that's my video. If you like what you see, link, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments, or want to discuss what happened? Or if you just want to help with me and mark out for Kevin Owens' debut tonight, leave it below. I'll get back to you. You want to support the channel? Click an advertisement too. It literally takes a second out of your day. Just click on it, and that supports the channel. Or if you want to support it directly, tip jar is right up there. Drop $1 in the bucket. I can get a taco. So, till next time, shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat saying, "Kill Owens, kill. Kill Owens, kill. Kill Owens, kill. Kill Owens, kill."